Holy words, long preserved for our walk in this world.
Good morning. Well, the message that I gave you yesterday was a message that, and I said this on that message, I had recorded it a couple of days earlier because we were anticipating a major winter storm coming in. Well, as it turned out, the snow was not nearly as big as it had been predicted. Even at the very first part of the storm, they were still telling us we were going to get 10 to 14 inches. And I was pretty excited about that because I like snow, as many of you know. But as it turned out, we didn't get nearly that much snow. We got maybe a couple of inches, maybe 3. But it was blowing around and it was hard to really measure. But the cold is real. This morning here in Clinton, it was at least 8 degrees below zero, and it may have been some below that. I know we were forecast to reach 12 or 13 below, and I don't know that we reached that. I don't know for sure. But anyway, the cold is absolutely here. Right now, as I'm recording this, well, we've warmed up to an amazing 2 degrees. It is cold outside. And we've got another snowstorm on the way. It's supposed to come in this evening. And they're telling us that we could get either 3 to 6 or 4 to 8 inches. Well, I'll believe that when I see it. I kind of suspect we'll probably get another couple of inches and then that'll be it. But this snowstorm, this winter storm, has been certainly one for the books. Our kids in Houston got snow. They're telling us, the weather people are telling us, that this is an event that takes place about once every 40 years. I'm reminded of a post that I saw on Facebook that somebody said, I'm tired of living in historic times. Well, on so many fronts, we have been, but we're kind of tired about it. We're ready to have things calm down a little bit, really not knowing if things are going to calm down at all. The truth is, we like it when days are more predictable, when we kind of know what to expect each day. But on a real truthful level, we really never know what each day is going to bring, because every day has the potential of bringing both catastrophe and blessing, sometimes at the same time. We never know what each day will bring, but it is the way it is. We really don't know what to expect. So we, as believers in the Bible, need to understand that some of the most significant things that God did happened immediately following and as a result of unexpected things that happen in people's lives. When Babylon came in and destroyed Jerusalem, carried the people off into captivity, it opened up the stories of Daniel and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and Esther. Amazing stories of faith. And we are blessed because of that event. Certainly, the capture and destruction of Jerusalem was unexpected, was catastrophic. And yet, look at the blessing that came out of that. We know in history that Jerusalem was again destroyed in 70 A.D. But we also know that because of that, Christianity spread all over the Mediterranean area. When the persecution arose against Christians, those Christians became strengthened by the power that they were experiencing. Their faith got to work in such a way that they themselves were amazed at the power of their faith, and the world around them noticed the power of their faith as well. Without that persecution, the church would not have become as strong as it did. And the ultimate story in the Bible is the story of the crucifixion that opened the door to the resurrection. It is the world that functions best when everything goes the way that it's expected to go. But Christians, maybe Christians function best and accomplish the most when things don't go the way that we expect them to go. It's during the hard times that we show our true character. It's when things are really hard that our faith gets to go to work. And let me remind you, it's not just the major catastrophic things that happen in a society that open the door for good things to happen. Because sometimes in what we think is a relatively small part that we play, because unexpected things come along, we get to display our faith, even our spiritual courage, during a time when things are unexpectedly difficult. I'm reminded of something that my drama teacher said in high school, and I think probably somebody said this before, but he said there are no small parts, there are only small people. Well, what he was telling us was that in the productions that we put on, some people are going to have bigger parts than others, but every part was important. And the way that we reacted to it really revealed whether we were a person of character or whether we were small people. So he was encouraging us to be participating in strong, bold ways, making the production as good as it could be, even if our part was relatively small. Of course, we all wanted to have those great big parts, to have leading roles, to be in the attention-getting position. All of us wanted to be the star. That's natural, especially for high school kids. But the production wouldn't mean much without the smaller parts. Perhaps fewer lines, but important to the plot. Maybe fewer on-stage appearances, but vital to the story. Right now, we are living through, should I say this, historic times. And it seems like it's this way on every front. All sorts of things are happening. We're living in times that are demanding, though, that our story be told. In the midst of all the chaos of this day, we, Christians, are the story now of redemption, of salvation, of hope. We are the story that needs to be told to give other people the encouragement that they know that life is meaningful and that there is something bigger at work here. We know that even in the midst of all the craziness, we have the opportunity to be people of God. And we know that all things work together for good to those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. Our part may be small, but it's still very significant because each of us is a part of his big story. So your part is not any smaller than anyone else's because together we are his story. And what an amazing privilege it is for us to be living in these times. What an amazing honor God is bestowing on us that right now, in the midst of this world, we are the people of hope. Today, go out and be a person of hope. Be a person who carries this story on, that we are the story of redemption in the midst of a world that needs redemption. I hope your day is good, and I hope you'll make it useful in telling his story. Bye.
Sound with God's own heart. Oh, let the ancient words impart. Words of life, words of hope. Give us strength.